All right, so this is a closing masterclass, something I had prepared a few days ago, probably to guide you through closing and how to do a perfect closing. Now, what is a high ticket closing? A high ticket closing is, or closing in general, closing is when a buyer and a seller agree on the conditions of a premium sale and the buyer makes a firm commitment to the transaction. So closing is the art of, transforming a prospect to a customer or to a member or a subscriber of your product or a service. So they are committing themselves. Closing is not convincing, it is not presenting, it is not selling. It is making a commitment. So when you're sitting down with someone and you're guiding them through the presentation, when it gets to closing, it's no longer a presentation. And when you are sitting down with them, it is not a chance for you to convince them. No, 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 no. It's a chance for you to open them up so that they can give you their problems and their objections and the things which they are scared about the most, and using that chance to close that deal. So you cannot close someone who is not open. I want you to imagine when you go to, let's say, for example, you're talking to someone and this person is not talking to you. Did you love the business? That person is quiet. Did you see how it can be? No, no, no. They're not talking. So you find yourself, you're not doing any closing. So closing can only happen if you open up someone to talk to you. And the qualities of a high ticket closer are very much obvious. Some of them, like you need to be well dressed, like whatever is presenting. A high ticket closer, you look like what you're presenting. You cannot look like a thug and expect someone to invest 115,000 in you. You need to be dressed, not sometimes official, just dressed calmly. You look at least neat enough that someone can listen to you and have some sort of confidence that they are in the right place. But some of you might even be scaring. You might be scaring people away from you based on how you dressed. So, has posture. You have a posture. You are a business owner. You are a boss, but at the same time you're a humble person. So you have a very good posture that someone will not take advantage of you, and also people will not be scared of you. So you have a good balance between humility and a little bit of confidence. All right, confidence and a little bit of humility. Now, someone who is a high ticket closer is well knowledgeable about the business. Obviously, you cannot close someone and you don't even know what the business is all about. And you have a story and you have your tools ready. You have your story and you have your tools ready to close a sale. So you don't wait until it's very late. That is when you start looking for a book and a pen to start. You're also downloading something to share. No, 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 no. You have it ready. And I will advise you, have stories ready. Let's say you're closing a deal. Instead of you struggling to explain everything about the deal, no, no, no. Just have a tool that can show them basically. And I think we talked about previously in using videos or testimonials to close a deal. Now, a high ticket closer understands the process and the closing scripts. You already understand it is a process, and you already understand that I don't have to rush this person. I just have to go one step at a time. You have the right attitude and you have made a decision to do the business 100%. You cannot close someone and you are 50-50. You are half-half about the business. You cannot close someone in that way. No, you yourself, you have to be 100% confident in whatever you're presenting, because someone can sense how confident you are. Someone can sense if you're confident in whatever you're presenting. Then you're good at communication, use a language which you're comfortable in, you are courageous, and you are a leader, not a beggar. You are a leader in that closing. Now, the attitude of a high ticket close, and I want you to be very keen on this. There are some things which we have discussed when we were talking about the 21 sales closing technique. Number one, use the power of positive assumption. Don't assume negative things. Don't assume this person. Sometimes you might be closing. Now, you're doing the closing shingo upande. You are doing it with no confidence that that person will buy into your idea. Be very much positive, no matter who you are talking to, no matter what that person is, no matter which, they might be a big CEO or just a common mwananchi. A high ticket closer is very positive and uses the power of positive assumption. Believe in yourself that you can get a technoverse. Believe that you can produce a megaverse. Believe that you can help this person to get started as soon as possible. So a high ticket closer, that is, they are very assumptive in their approach. They expect the prospect to join because their belief, because their belief that the opportunity will benefit a prospect is so strong. For me, anytime I'm closing, I don't care who I'm closing. I'm always positive that this person can benefit from this project. And I usually show them how it can help them. So I'm always so much positive that someone will join the business. Number two, they are emotionally detached from the outcome. So the goal is education and understanding while helping a prospect make a decision that will positively impact their life, honestly trying to help. So be emotionally detached from the outcome. This is different from being having a positive assumption. You are working with the assumption that this person will join the business. But also remember that even if they don't join, it's okay. You don't need to sit down and start crying. So be emotionally detached from the outcome. The goal is to educate your prospect and to help them to understand and to help them to make a decision that will impact their life. As in, genuinely, you are trying to help this person. So even if they don't join right now, or if they are not in a position to join, it's still okay. Never feel bad for that. Always tell yourself that even if they have said they're not joining, it's okay. It happens. Even if they're not ready, it's okay. Even if they don't do it right now, it's okay. Even if they don't join this year, it's still okay. I have helped that person to understand that they can do something else in this world. They promote themselves as much as they promote the product or the opportunity. Are you together? So we have a great product and opportunity, but I'm going to take this to the top and we can do it together. That's something that you can tell them. We have a very good system and I'm going to take this to the top, but I want us to do it together. I don't want to do it alone. John, I want us to grow all the way to the top together. Don't you see how we can do it together in a very powerful way? So promote the product and the opportunity while you also promote yourself. I want us to do this to the next level, but I cannot do it alone. I want us to do it together. Then they are always prepared. Always. They have everything they need to get a person started right on the spot. I think we talked about that. You have all the details, a business kit, you have bundles, you have videos, you have testimonials, you have, as in, everything that you need. Then they are intentional about making a high ticket sell. You're always looking forward to sell the biggest package in that category. So you don't wonder, you don't start wondering, how can I help this person to join with the Megaverse? No, you're always ready. You are intentional. John, I know at the moment you said you want this, but I would actually recommend, or how about we go for the Digiverse? Don't you think that will be much more beneficial to you? Where is the problem? Why can't we go for this? So they're always looking forward to sell the biggest package. And then they ask questions and are good listeners. So they act like a consultant and helping a person with a problem. You are like a doctor. You see the doctor, the way he sits down and he starts asking you, where do you feel the pain? Do you have a running stomach? Do you feel weakness? Are you coughing blood? Are you okay? Where do you have back pains? They listen. So you are like that kind of a person. So someone will tell you their problem. It is up to you to sit down and listen and help that person with a problem. Now, in a closing, anytime that you are doing a closing, always identify a leader. Always look forward to always look forward to picking out someone in that category who can be trusted, who their mindset is very much okay. When I'm doing a closing, I don't work with everyone. I'll always look back and say, I want 3 leaders out of this audience, and I only want 3 people who are good decision makers. Anytime, even when you sit down, I tell them, you look like a joker. I don't want a joker. On the other hand, this other person looks like a very serious person. Maybe after this, John, you can see me. I want to talk to you privately because you look like a serious person who I can work with. So find a leader. And how do you find a leader? So you start by qualifying or disqualifying your prospects. Let me tell you, any time you're sitting down with at least 10 people to do closing to, at least one of them is serious and might be in a position to join the business immediately. Out of 10, 3 are just there to pass time. They're just there because they don't have anything they're doing. 3 are just curious. So the moment they understand, oh, so the starting package, oh, so I need to, oh, okay, ni sawa. And then they go. The same way you go to a shop and you ask the price, and you know very well you're not there to buy. You're just there to inquire about the price, and then you go home knowing that shoe goes for how much. So when a person is the person selling to you the shoe is telling you the price, they are with the expectation of that you're going to buy it, but you know very well that you're not going to buy it. Those are the kind of people you're going to meet. There are others who are just there to pass time, but there are others who are curious. Then the moment their curiosity is satisfied, they run away. Then, out of the remaining 4 people, 2 are ready to make the decision, and 2 will tell you, yes, I think I love this. I think maybe this is a very good opportunity. But they are not ready to make a decision. Sorry, they want to make a decision, but they are not going to go for it. They'll tell you, I love it. Okay, it's a good thing, but I don't think this is for me. Or I think maybe I'll do it next year. There are 2 of those people in that kind of scenario. And 2 or 1 or 2 might actually go for it on a serious note. Now, it is you now to pick out the 1 or 2 people out of the 10 and work with those people. I think I was telling one of you earlier that you don't need everybody. You might be thinking that if I close 20 people, I'll get 20 codes. Well, I like to see that happen, but it's not impossible. It's still possible, but chances are out of 20 people, only 3 or 4 are very serious. The remaining 16 are just there to waste time. They're not ready to make a decision. So anytime you find yourself with over 20 people, don't waste time sitting down with them. Are you together? How can you identify the serious people? By their nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues are the way they carry themselves, the way someone is seated, the way they're asking questions. Sometimes they might be asking very legitimate questions. That is a leader. When someone is asking legitimate questions like, if I start today, how will you guys support? That's a very serious person. That is a leader. That is someone that you need to spend majority of your time there. So sometimes the questions that you might need to ask, they'll also tell you. All right. So you need to ask them questions to gauge how serious they are. Now, let me tell you, in this industry, we work with speed. We work with numbers, we work with speed. So you spend 1 hour closing someone who is not serious. If you spend 1 hour closing someone who is not serious, or someone who is going to tell you a no, be prepared because you're already wasting time. If you close with speed. Don't spend 1 hour that could have been used to prospect 20 other people. That 1 hour, you can be making phone calls, you can be prospecting even more, you can be inviting even more. So this 1 hour that you have, use it and use it wisely. So someone tells you no, well and good. Don't keep wasting time with that person. Move on to the next person. Instead of spending 1 hour trying to convince someone why that business is the best and they've already told you a no, instead of feeling bad trying to argue with them, use that time to invite even more people. so that you can have even more guests. And when someone tells you no, take it with a lot of excitement, because that person has saved you time. That person has saved you a lot of time. Your time yenye you would have used it to argue with this person or trying to explain to them to this person the business, that time you can now use it wisely. Huyu mtu ni kama amekutolea stress, ashaniambia no, fantastic, so I don't need to waste any time here. But sometimes when people tell you no, some of you start crying, you start feeling down, you start wondering, hey, upline, this person is telling me oh this, oh that, oh this, oh that. So instead of that, I will actually advise you, use that time and make sure that you make the most out of it. When someone tells you a no, there are more people outside there waiting to tell you a yes. The people who are telling you a no, they're just telling you, not now, probably later on, or I'm not ready to make this decision right now. But in a few, okay, maybe they might not tell you in a few, but at that moment, just know that they are not ready. So use that time wisely to get even more results. Then ask questions. There are some of the questions that you can ask, and then I'll guide you on how to ask them. And so, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, probably we are cruising on nicely. We are cruising on nicely, but with these questions, I want you to be very keen. There's a way in which you can approach them. Now, this is the strategy that I wanted to teach you guys. All right, awesome. So asking questions sometimes can help you to identify the objections that your guest might be facing, zenye hataki kukuambia. It might help you to identify the kind of challenges that they are going through, and it also helps you to identify the mindset, the leadership within that person, what else, what to majorly focus on during that presentation, during that closing. Ndivyo usifocus on helping someone na yeye kuna kitu specific yenye amependa, na wewe una focus tu na hiyo one thing. Maybe let's say una focus na vacation, or making money, na yeye hajapenda ya part ya making money, labda yeye amependa the charity work. So asking questions is the best way to go. The only reason you're there is to ask questions and listen. Be empathetic, respond, provide solutions. That is the process. Listen, wacha mtu ulize swali, and then be empathetic if it requires you to be empathetic, as in reason with this person. Sawa. Once you reason with this person, now work with whatever they have given you and provide solutions to the problem or the question or the challenge or the objection. Now, these are some of the questions. One of them is, what did you love the most about our opportunity? The second one is, can you see how this business will be an opportunity for you? Then number 3 is, based on what you've just seen, if you are to get started with the organization, approximately how much do you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? As in, assuming you are to earn this, assuming you are part of organization, for a start, how much do you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? This is just to gauge how much in need is this person of this opportunity. And then approximately how many hours could you commit each day? Approximately how many hours could you commit each day to develop that kind of income? All right. Remember, I was telling you showing the amount of effort, time, and energy required. That is a clause to produce a result. That is a very important question. Approximately how many hours could you commit? You can gauge how busy is that person, or how free are they, what is their schedule like, and you can plan with the hours that they have told you. If I could show you how to develop an income of 50,000 Kenyan shillings per month, working 4 hours a day over the course of 4 months, would you be ready to get started? Then pull out a book and demonstrate. I'll show you how to do it in a few. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at your decision making on getting started in this business? And if you're given a chance to start the business now without a limitation, where will you start, or which package will you start with right now? Sawa. The question is right now. And then if you're given a chance to make a partial payment of 5,500, will you do it? And then if you don't get positive answers to this question, that means your prospect needs more exposures. Do them and repeat this process. Now, this is how to ask these questions. And I told you it's a combination of different techniques. So nikisema a question, probably you can try to remind yourself which technique was that, or which approach was that. So this is the strategy that I teach. Now, the first thing is, what did you love the most from the entire presentation? Let me not need, I don't need to zoom in. So what did you love the most from the entire presentation, from whatever you saw about our business? What did you love? The question is love, because we are assuming that this person, this is the assumptive clause, we are assuming that this person, even if they hated it, there must be something which they love. Or what excited you the most about our project? What did you like out of the entire business presentation? But never in your entire life ask, what did you think? Never ask, what did you think? Because if I ask you, what do you think of this person? You will look at them and say, they are good, but this question, ukitumia the word think, it provokes negative thoughts as well as sometimes some positive, but majority will be negative thoughts. So that person will tell you everything. What do you think about this project? They'll tell you, it's a good one, but it's not for me. Okay, I did not love this, I did not love. But when you ask them specifically, what excited you the most from whatever has been presented to you? What did you like out of the entire presentation? What did you love the most out of everything that was shared with you today? These are the three questions that you can ask for the first step out of the entire presentation. This is the first question. What did you love, or what excited you the most, or what did you like out of everything that was shared with you? So this is the assumptive clause. Sawa. So they will tell you what they love or what excited them the most. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called the power of autosuggestion. Is called the power of autosuggestion. That person, you are just suggesting, you're putting the idea inside their head that they loved it, even if they did not love it. Autosuggestion inamaanisha umemwekea ndani, you have inserted the thought inside their brain that they have already loved it. It's called autosuggestion. Are we together? Whatever they share with you, whatever they have shared with you, they'll tell you, I've loved the fact that you guys support young people. I've loved the fact that I can make money with this system. I love the fact that blah, 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 blah. I love the fact that you guys have grown from grass to grace. I love the fact, whatever they share with you, relate. Tell them, oh yes, you want to mean you and me, we think alike. Oh, fantastic. Hata pia mimi nilipenda, by the way, hata pia mimi hiyo kitu ilinibamba. Whatever they tell you, relate. Don't bring new ideas unless you want to share your story, or unless you are sharing something specific. But whatever they have shared, relate. Nikisema relate namaanisha same, as in same. You know, that's the easiest way to explain. So you come nanipata. Same, whatever they have, same. Hata pia, imagine, I discovered these guys have the best products. You mean you're just like me? We think alike, or we love the same thing. It gives the guest or that person that you're closing a sense of community, a sense of togetherness, a sense of, so it's not just me alone. Kumbe, These people have majority of the things. So if you are sitting down with in a closing session, relate. If you are closing someone over the phone call, relate. Whenever they tell you they have a question, let's say they ask you, by the way, I was wondering, hii encashment process inafanya aje? John, very good question. You remind me. Hata pia mimi nikikuja, by the way, hiyo swali ilikuwa imenisumbua, but I discovered that is relating. I discovered that these people have these two banks. You relate. Anything that I'm going to teach you from this point until the end of closing, the word is relate. Someone tells you, by the way, I was wondering, if I start with the Neovas package, how much money can I be making? John, fantastic. That's a very good. Now let's do this. I had the same question when I was shared to this project. And this is the plan that I found out. Remember, I told you there is no yes or no answer in closing. Never answer with a yes or a no. Never answer unless it's a personal question. Someone might ask you, are you a leader in the business? You can tell them, yes, I'm a leader. But when they ask you, how much money will I be making? Or they ask you, if I get started today, will I start earning today? Because people have stupid questions. You have clearly shown them that this is the plan. We are going to help you to connect your first 4 people. And you've already shown them the spillover support system. And you've already told them the moment you get started, this is the plan we're going to work with. But still someone will ask you, if I get started today, will I start earning today? And some of you start wondering, how do I reply to this question? Oh my God. Do I say yes? Do I say no? Do I keep quiet? It's very simple. Because when you say yes, that person will join with the expectation of, I start today, I start earning today. But sometimes, building the foundation requires some time, maybe a day or 2 or 3 or 1 week or so. For every person is different. So this person will come and ask you, you told me I'll start earning the moment I get started. And when you tell them no, you might be lying to them, because people get started the next day, they don't even waste time. They have already connected their first 2 people or their first 4 people, and they can still earn. So when you tell them no, you cannot earn the first day you get started, that means you have already discouraged that person, and probably that will be a leader. That will be someone mwenye akiingia hivi, they can start helping you to build a team very, very quickly. So when you tell them no, at the back of their mind, they'll be like, probably this is not the best project for me. You'll be giving up on a leader. So to help you overcome that challenge of, do I answer yes or a no? Re-explain that part in ameuliza. If I start today, will I start earning? John, before we get all confused, allow me to remind you how the ways of earning work. So the moment you get started, on the left side, on the right side, connect your first 2 people, your first 2 people on the other side. This means that, John, when you get started, the plan within the first 1 month is to help you to build a team of how many people, John? 4 people. And that means that within the first 1 month, this is the kind of income that we are working with. That means you could be making even more than this or slightly less. Have you answered that question? Yes. Have you said yes or no? No. You have answered that question with the presentation, so that even when John joins the business and they wonder, why am I not making the money? You remind them, John, remember, this is the plan that I told you we are going to work with. And if they start making the money, you tell them, John, remember the plan that I told you we were working with? Isn't it happening? Si ndio hii umeshapata watu wako wawili, watatu, wanne? That is how to handle objections and questions from today onward. Taki kusikia yes or no. Number 2, after you've asked them what they love the most about the presentation, they'll tell you what they've loved. Now, the next question you need to ask them is, John, you've told me you love the business and you love whatever's been shared with you. Have you seen how this can be a very great opportunity for you? Have you seen how this can be a very great opportunity for you? Those are low impact question or low impact clause. Have you seen how this can be a very good opportunity for you. They'll tell you yes or no, but majority of the time people will tell you, yes, actually, I see how this can be a very good opportunity for me. Go and ask them a follow-up question. How so? How so? So this is 2A, this is 2B. How so? How can this? Akishakwambia, yes, this can be a good opportunity. Ask them, how so? Or how do you think it can help you? Or what do you think it can help you to accomplish? They'll tell you, I've seen this can be a good opportunity for me to raise capital to fund my business. I've seen this can be a good opportunity for me to travel the world. I've seen this can be a good opportunity for me to accomplish my personal goals. They'll tell you how they think this can be a good opportunity for you, for them. Then go ahead to the third question and you ask them, what are you hoping to accomplish within a period of 6 months to 2 years and even beyond, assuming you are part of our project? Are you together? What do you hope to accomplish within a period of 6 months to 2 years or even 2 years and above, assuming you're part of assuming you're part of us? Where do you see yourself in 6 months or 2 years time? This person should tell you what they're looking forward to enjoying the most about the business. And do you know what that means? It means you will now know the drive sales system of this person. If you are keen, when I was teaching presentation, the theory of presentation, I taught you guys these 5 aspects. There are 5 different kinds of people. One is a director. This is person who wants to just enjoy life. Tell them how this can be a project where they can enjoy life. They'll tell you, oh my God, I love the traveling. I love this, the what. Are we together? Even this first question, what did you love from the entire presentation, should help you to know which kind of person. This person is a director. They'll tell you they just want to enjoy the good life. They'll ask you, can I travel to that trip to Dubai? Can I be among those people who will be going to South Africa? Can I be among those people who will come to the event? Basically, anything concerning life and enjoying a good life, this person is in. So ukimwambia, oh, mambo sijui ya charity work, or sijui we do community outreach, you know, we help you to build a house, those are things which don't make sense to that person. Are we together? So if you can help that person to see the bigger picture in terms of life, that person is a director. Close that deal based on enjoying life. Just show this person how they can enjoy life. The second category is relators. These are people who they're into relationships so much. Their families, you know, their friends, their extended families, the people around them, the community, you know, something which they can use to impact the society or their social communities. That person is in. That is a relator, a family person. So in 6 months to 2 years time, someone will tell you, I want to start my own charity organization. I want to build for my mom a home. I want to help my siblings. That person, don't dare talk about system na sijui nini. Huyo mtu utakuwa unampoteza. We mwelezee tu vile in 6 months to 2 years time, you can help them to accomplish that. We'll go to the next step in a few. Then after that, we have the intellectuals. These are people who are so much into the system and its technicalities. This is the person who will tell you in 6 months to 2 years, I want to become one of the top leaders in this organization. I would like to learn more about this industry. I would like to learn more. That is someone who is so much into the system. And even after that presentation, they are still curious. They'll start asking you, and by the way, these other ways of earning that you guys have not explained. Can you teach me how stair-step and unilevel works? These other ways of earning, I wanted to know, how can I get a rank? How can I become as They ask the technical questions. And in fact, this kind of person, you need to be very careful with them, because any little thing, any sign of weakness that you don't know the system, chances are you might lose them. If you find yourself in such a position, now unajua tu vizuri very well, you're not well equipped with all the information about the system, kindly refer them to your uplines. Tell them, hi upline, I've met a very intellectual person, and I'll like you to maybe assist me in closing, kindly, if you don't mind. And your upline will help you to close that person. I don't know if you guys are getting me, because when with this kind of person, if you're not well equipped with the technicalities of the system, you might mess up. Or if you delay a little bit in in your explanation, you show any signs of weakness that you are not confident, that is it for you. So I want you to realize that. After this, go and check out the technical training I did on it. Is already on YouTube. Technical training and BTC training. Learn about the technicalities of the system, so that if someone ambushes you and they ask you, Ebu, explain to me how UPP works, or how I can do this, or how you are well equipped. The next thing you're going to get is validators. These are people who value recognition and being celebrated and people just knowing them. So this person will tell you, I'm hoping to become a gold executive like person so and so. This person will tell you, I want to build a house so that I can be as in, okay, not building a house. Probably they'll tell you something along the lines of, I want to buy a car like person so and so. I want to have a Range Rover like the CEO of Bonan Vivon. I want to become a growth driver of the year, like you saw in our event. Some of our, some of your follow-ups and your guests, the moment they attend events, they see people being carried on stage, they want that. They don't want to the millions, it's okay. But the moment they see any form of recognition, they want to be celebrated. They want to enter into every room and people should know they have arrived. That is a validator. So what do? Show them how they can get that rank. Show them how they can be celebrated. Show them how they can go all the way to the top. Show them how their name can be plastered in Caxton House at the head office. Show them how they can be team leaders and mentor to so many. The things which they yearn the most. Some people, I remember one time someone told me, I want to join this business so that I can become a boss, so that I can have a team and become a boss like these bosses here. People are very funny. But anyway, that is a validator. So you just show this person how they can become a boss. You tell them, oh, wow, you want to become a CEO like person so and so? Okay, let me show you how in 6 months to 2 years time you can get there. Then lastly, we have executives. And I taught you guys executives, these are people who are goal-oriented. These are people who, the only thing they need to know is, can this help them to achieve their goals? This is someone who, or people who, they have a ton of goals. Wakona kitabu yenye kona a lot of goals. And in 6 months to 2 years, you ask them that question, they'll tell you, wow. I am just hoping that this project can help me to raise 500,000. I want to start this business and that business and that industry and that and that and that. So ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have identified the drive cells of that person, they have already told you what they loved from the entire presentation. And to top it all off, they have already told you how this can be a very good opportunity for them. And they have told you what they are hoping to accomplish in the next 6 months to 2 years. So what do you do next? This is now what you do next. Now, you ask them a very serious question and you reason out with them. If I help you to accomplish that goal, if I help you to build that house that you've told me in 6 months to 2 years, if I can show you how to be a gold executive, if I can share with you the secrets to how this is going to, if I would you are offering value for value. Are we together? You are giving them value. You're telling them, Nani, I see your goal and I want to go there with you. So if I can show you the way to go to your goal, will you walk the journey with me? That is a basic question that you're asking this person. And they will answer you, of course, yes. You hear me asking during altar call. If I can share with you an idea or a strategy or a plan that can help you to achieve all this within a period of 2 to 4 years, would you go for it? And they go to the chat box, yes, ready, in fact, the best, oh, wonder, because of course people want value for value. If I can show you, will you go for it? If I'm going to show you the way, will you also be willing to get the value? Are we together? So you are simply giving them a platform to accomplish something out of it. Are we together? Now, once they have told you that they want to go for this, that of course they are ready and open-minded for it, what do you do next? Now, this is what you do next. Someone will tell you, yes, if you can show me how to become a car achiever or how to become one of those people who are traveling, I think I'll go for this. Then you go ahead and you ask them, assuming I give you a chance to start today, how much income would you want to be making on a monthly basis just for a start? We are now getting to the serious part of closing. Assuming I give you a chance to become part of our organization today, assuming you are part of our business today, how much income will you want to be making for a start? All right. And this person should give you a rough figure, should not tell you a lot, like I want to make a lot. No, 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 no. You tell them, John, let's be serious here. I want to help you out. So I need to know what kind of income are we working with. So John, be honest with me. Assuming you are part of our organization today, how much money would you want to be making? Maybe for a start. Maybe later on will grow, but for a start, how much income would you want to be making? All right, just for a start. And this person should tell you how much income they are planning to generate in a period of, maybe for a start, maybe first 6 months, maybe first month, second month, third month. They should give you a rough figure. Now, once they've given you a rough figure, you ask them, don't know if there's a question missing here but I don't think there's anything missing here. I arranged this properly. Assuming you are to start today, how much income would you want to make for a start? Now, first of all, before we even proceed, this question will help you with one thing. This question will help you to identify. Remember, we were talking about the needs and the wants. The needs and the wants of this person, and probably what kind of responsibilities they have. Because someone will tell you, probably I don't mind making 20K per month for a start. That is someone who your work is cut out, kazi yako imepunguzwa. Someone tells you 20K, 30K. That is someone who at most they just need 2 or 3 codes directly sponsored and they'll make the money. Someone tells you 50,000, 60,000, 80,000 for a start. That means you'll have a lot of activities to do, but don't worry. Regardless of whatever the amount of money they'll tell you, we have a solution. Assuming you are to start today, how much money would you want to make for a start? This should tell you the kind of person you're dealing with. Someone telling you 10K for a start, that one you should not even worry. You should just ask them, John, are you sure you want to make 10K for a start? That's good. That's okay. And you can just appreciate them. Appreciate you for being honest with me, John. Now I know the best way to start. Are we together? And then you proceed to the next question. How is your schedule? How is your schedule? Or how, tell me your day. How is your days? How much time do you have in a single day? Or how is your schedule? Just basically, you told me you're a student, John. So how is your schedule on a normal day? How is your schedule? Or on a normal week or a normal month? How is your schedule? Mostly you can ask about their days. On a normal day, how is your schedule? Now, the reason why we are asking this question, there is an objection which we are trying to overcome. This person who is going to, this person that we are closing, they will ask you, like even as I was doing this earlier, someone just asked me randomly, this mentorship, will it interfere with my daily activities? And I discovered I did not tackle it earlier. But this question should help you to overcome the question of, I am usually a busy person, or I am usually a student, I'm usually employed at that time, I'm usually a business person, so I'm a busy person, I don't think I can do this. So the first thing you ask them is, how is your schedule, John? You told me you want us to make maybe 20K, but I want to know, how is your schedule? It should help you to identify the type of person you're talking to and also help you to handle the objection. This person tells you their time, the time that they have. This is a chance for you to block their time. You block their time. You tell them, John, you told me you have classes in the morning and in the afternoon. So what about, let's say, 4 to 9 p.m. in the evening? What about that time? What do you do? John, you told me you're employed and you report to work from 8 to 6 p.m. But I wanted to know, what about 7 to 9 p.m.? What do you do during that time? And they should tell you their time. And you can confirm to them that you can start this, whether it's on a part-time basis, or a full-time basis. It is your work now because they have told you the time that they work with. This is the chance for you to handle that objection before you even proceed any further. You tell, John, fantastic. You said you don't have classes in the evening? You are very lucky. You told me you report to work from 8 to 5 p.m. So that means from 6 in the evening until 9 or 10, you basically have some good number of hours. That's fantastic. In fact, you are very lucky. We are going to use that time for a part-time basis. And guess what? If I can show you how to generate this kind of income, if I can show you how to generate that kind of income which they told you in the number of hours that you have shared with me, let's say in the 2 hours or 3 hours that you told me you're free in the evening, would you go for this? Sharp angle close. I told you guys, try to relate the technique which I taught you and this question. If I would you, that is a sharp angle close. You are basically using the opportunity which you have to offer them value for value. And a sharp angle close, I told you the rule of a sharp angle close is if and only if you are getting positive feedback. Remember, they gave you positive feedback when they told you income. They gave you positive feedback when you talked there. They gave you positive feedback when you talk here. Now, this is the perfect chance. Now, if I can show you how to generate that kind of income in the 3 hours that you told me you are free in the evening, would you be ready to go for this? Would you be ready to get started? Would you be okay? If I can show you how to generate the 20,000 that you want to make in 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis, the time that you've said you're free, will that help you somewhere? If I can show you how to do that, how will it help you? If I can show you how to generate the 30,000 in 2 hours per day for a single month, how will it help you out? They'll tell you, if you just help me with that, I think that will help me to pay my rent, to pay my electricity, to pay for my hair, to pay for my school fees, to pay for my upkeep. They'll tell you those kind of things. And then you tell them, John, now here is the plan. Remember I told you, the moment you do a sharp angle close, you're offering them value for value, then show them how it works, or go over the details again of your presentation. Now, show them the plan. Now, depending on the kind of income they've told you they want to make, this plan varies from person to person and the number of accounts. So, but on average, you can just use the Neoverse package and you can use it this way. Now, John, you said you want us to work on helping you to make 30,000 per month for a start, which is a very good plan. And you told me you have 2 to 3 hours per day. Now, let me show you the plan that you're going to work with. This is the 1 month plan, the first month plan that we always share during the presentation. And in the first month, you share with them the Neoverse. And the goal is to help them connect at least 4 people. Sorry. The goal is to help them to connect at least how many? 4 people using the systems. Now, this is what I mean when I say depending on the income they want. Now, for someone who wants to generate, let's say, 20,000, you can just work with the matching bonus. You tell them, John, so this is how we are going to do it. In the first 1 month, you're going to help you connect your first 4 people, which means you'll make 4,800 and 4,800, and you'll also make 4,800 here and 4,800 here, which means you'll make how much? 19,200. John, have you already paid your school fees? John, have you already paid your rent? John, have you already taken your children to school? John, have you already taken care of your medical expenses? And the answer is yes. If not that, someone tells you, I want to make 40,000, or let's say 35,000, or even let's say 30,000 per month extra. You can go the extra mile and also add the connecting bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 24,000. And that means you can show them, John, you said you want to make 30,000. But this is the plan that I want us to work with. If we can help you to generate this kind of income, will it help you somewhere? Then you show them the plan and you show them how they can be making 43,000. And then you can just maybe, let's say, remove one of them. You can remove that and that. The moment you remove that and that, that means that this person has the option. This person has the option of either making more than that or slightly less. So if it's, let's say, 30,000, you can just remove 2 sponsoring bonus. You can tell them, here I'll give you a spillover, here I'll give you a spillover, and then here I'll help you to connect 2 people, which means you'll make 12,000 plus 19,200, which comes to about 31,200. And you show them the plan. Always make sure that you show them the plan. And remember, this is what we said when you're talking about the types of clauses. This is where we say this is called showing them the time, the energy, and the effort, I think, and the effort required to produce the goal. And this is now where you explain it to them. So using the systems that we have, this is the plan that we have put in place. Now, let's go to the next one. Now, you show them, and of course, we talked about showing them the plan. And then as I told you, you share with them the expectation. The first 1 month, this is the kind of income that I want us to be generating. so that their expectation is managed. And you share with them the first 1 month plan. Apart from the income, we are planning to help you to build a team of the first 4 people, so that this person can know that we are here to help them to build an organization. Are we together? Show them that you are here to help them to grow. And you tell them, John, I've already showed you the first month's plan. And in this first month plan, as I had already calculated with you earlier, the goal is not just to help you to connect your first 4 people, but to also help you to build a foundation. The goal is to help you to build a foundation, so that when you have this foundation in the second month, that means that, John, this team of 4 people that you're going to be having, we are going to work with them so that each one of them connects at least 2 people, 2 people, 2 people, 2 people each. And the moment they connect their 2 people, 2 people each, then guess what, John? That means in the second month, your income is going to be so much higher. Now, there's a funny thing. When you show someone the plan, it always relaxes them. They're like, oh, okay. So these people already have a plan put in place for me. Fantastic. Especially if it's someone who is, let's say, I think everyone just wants a plan. Let's not just say it's for a specific kind of people. We all want to know there is a system to doing things. Like, for example, when for example, let's say anywhere money is involved. For example, you go to a bank and they'll tell you this locked account can earn you an interest, and they show you how much interest, and they also help you to calculate. What do you think happens to you? You are like, oh, so this thing actually has a plan. So I am very much confident that I'm in the right place. Are we together? So when you show someone the plan, it calms them down. And then you also share with them how you're going to help them to do it. And it's not just going to be magic. It is going to be a mentorship program. And in this mentorship program, for the first 1 month, as I'm helping you to build your foundation, for the first 1 month, the only thing that you'll be doing, John, is you will be learning. That's the only thing that you'll be doing. You will be learning as I help you to build your first 4 people as your foundation. So during this mentorship program, I'll not require you to do anything serious unless I'm giving you a specific task. But I'll not be requiring you to do anything, because this first 1 month, like I'm showing you, is all about me and my team supporting you. I hope you guys are learning. I hope you're following through. Now, after that, we now want to gauge how serious this person is, so that we can offer them the next, so that we can go to the next bit of it. Now, a very open question that you can ask them. John, you've already seen the plan. I've already showed you everything that we have to do right now. And I just want to know if you are the right person that I should help. So based on whatever has been shared with you today, or based on whatever you have seen today, and based on everything that we have discussed, how serious are you about getting started on a scale of 1 to 10? How serious are you about getting started on this on a scale of 1 to 10? How serious are you, John? 1 being not serious at all. You're not excited about this, you're not serious at all. And 10 being very serious and very much ready to get started on this. John, be honest with me. Money not being involved, how serious are you? And John should tell you on a scale of 1 to 10. And let me just tell you, this question, sometimes you might need to ask it at least 2 to 3 times ndivyo mtu aelewe. So don't get angry when you ask it the first time and you don't get a feedback. They're like, ask again. This question, you might be forced to say it twice or even 3 times. John, based on whatever has been presented to you today, and based on already the plan that I've already shared with you, I want to know if you're the right person that I should help. How serious are you about getting started in our business on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is you are not serious at all, and 10 is you're very serious and very much ready to get started. Now, anything above 1 is okay. That means that person is at least somewhere. But majority of the time, you will get between 4 and 8. Sometimes you might get a 10 out of 10. Someone will tell you, I'm very much okay. So you need to know how to tackle this kind of scenario. If someone tells you 5, that means they are half-half. They are on the fence. They have not yet decided, but they have all the knowledge, so they are okay. Basically, they are okay. But someone telling you 0, cut communications, cut ties. Tell them, John, you're not serious. If you can clearly see they have understood your question, but they are giving you a 0, that is a joker. Cut that communication that time. Tell them, John, I appreciate you for creating time, but clearly you are not the right person I should be focusing my time on. Never be afraid to cut any person. Never be afraid to remove any person, even if it is a physical kind of session. Never be, in fact, remove that person and you tell them, John, I can see you're not serious. So that I can save on time, allow me to focus on the rest. Remove your seat. Let me sit with the remaining 3 people. John, kindly move your seat. The rest, let's move closer together. Never be afraid to cut off ties. It doesn't matter how that person is, who old, how we don't even care. Are we together? But in as much as you are cutting ties, you will clearly tell them, John, probably you did not understand what we have discussed. So you can book another appointment, cut that communication there, book another session, invite them to another presentation, or you can direct them to another leader. Tell them, hi upline, this is John. John was in the session today, but on a scale of 1 to 10, John is at 0. Kindly, sir, kindly, madam, would you help me out here with John? Probably you might be in a better position to understand him. So you ask any leader who is around to help you to close that deal or to book another appointment with that person. But don't waste your time with any person who is telling you they are at 0 and they are serious. Remove that person. If you can clearly see they are confused, book another appointment or direct them to your upline. All right. Now, once they have already told you their number, I've already told you the averages of what they'll ask, they'll tell you, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Majority of them will be there. Now you tell them, John, my work here is to help you to get to a higher number, like a 9.9 or a 10. That means, John, there is something which is preventing you. John, you are at 5. My work here is to help you to get to a higher number, like a 9.9 or even 10. So what is preventing you from getting to a 10? Or why are you stuck at 4? Hizo sita ni za nini? Where is the problem? Do you get now how to ask for the objections? There is a strategy to asking for the objections. You don't just ask them, John, what is preventing you from joining the business? They'll tell you all the negative things they could think of or all the challenges they could think of. But when you ask them, John, clearly at 4 you're okay, but why not a 9.9? My work here is to help you to get to a 10 or even a 9. So I want to know, where is the problem? How can I help so that you can move to a higher number? And this person will give you all the objections, all the challenges, all the things which they have gone through. that is preventing them from joining the business. Now, this is where it needs you now to be practical. Relate with the question that they have asked you. Relate with the objection that they'll tell you. They'll tell you, this and that happened, so this and this. John, I completely understand. You actually remind me of person so and so who started the project. John, you remind me of my upline who was also a dancer just like you, who was also an employed person like you. All right. So they will ask you their questions. All right. Do you have any question or any reason that is preventing you from getting started or getting to a higher number? So they'll give you their question. This is the 10th step. Remember, this is a technique I taught you. It's called inquiring about the objections. This one is called providing a solution based on 1 to 10. 1 to 10 technique. So I'm going on highlighting so that you can go and relate. Now, after that, they'll give you all the objections. Don't answer them one at a time. They'll tell you, for me, I don't have the money. Ushaanza kujibu. No. Hold your horses. Relax. Stay calm. Let them tell you all their objections. Don't get angry. Wacha mtu afungue roho. Let them open up their heart. They'll tell you everything that they're going through. Some of them will tell you, oh, by the way, I'm an orphan. Oh, by the way, I lost, my job. Oh, I've been sick. They'll tell you all those objections, some of those challenges that they're having, or questions. They might even ask you, I've seen this project before, and I know person so and so who became part of it. Or I have been wanting to join this, but this has been stopping me, for example. Don't answer that. Get more information. How so? What do you mean? Oh, you're an orphan. Tell me more about yourself. They'll tell you, they'll open up. Guys, you cannot close someone who you have not opened up. Who has not opened up to you, you can never close that kind of person. So what's the best thing to do? Open up that person. Now, this is now where you inquire about their objections. And you now start matching their needs. There was a technique which you call offering a solution to their needs. And you tell them, John, you told me you have challenge number 1, challenge number 2, challenge number 3. Now, before I even proceed to help you, I just want to confirm, do you have any other thing outside these 3 things that you have mentioned? Now, this is called blocking. You want to make sure that there are no more objections coming outside of whatever this person has given you. So you ask them, John, any other thing? Oh, good. So if I clarify these objections or these questions, so if I answer you these 3 things, John, if I help you to tackle these 3 challenges, or if I answer for you these questions, would you be okay to proceed and get started? If I clarify this challenge of you raising the money, would you be willing to struggle and get started? Are we together? And they will give you a definite yes. They'll tell you, yes, mimi ukinijibu tu hizi maswali, if you just answer these questions, I'll be good to go. I'll be okay. I'll not have any challenge. Then use that chance to make sure that there are no more objections. I told you guys when we were handling objections a few sessions ago, I told you objections are simply unanswered questions. These are things which they were never tackled in the entire presentation. That presentation was too poor, too shabby, that by the end of that presentation, you find that someone is still very green. Someone is still very green. They are not yet ripe for you to close. So it forces you to go back to the presentation bit. That's why you guys saw I was very strict during the presentation. Because sometimes That is where the business is all about, explaining how it works. If you do it so well, there are not going to be any objections. Answer those objections now that they have come up. Sometimes, we have very good presentations. Sometimes you just finish presentation and you ask someone, do you have any questions or can we proceed to get started? This person will tell you, me, I'm good. I understood everything. So if you're good in presentation, very well for you. But if you're not good in presentation, or if a bad presentation was done, then you have to be good in closing. You have to be good at either. Are you together? So you can be good in presentation, it will save you time in closing. Or be very poor in presentation and then have a tough time in closing. So that means you have to be good in closing. Prepare yourself to answer those objections. You cannot escape them. Human beings, we are full of objections, from time to money to family matters to the industry to my dad, my mom, sijui nini. I don't, as in, we all have all kinds of objections. So answer those objections and make sure you leave your guest satisfied. You are a solution provider. This person needs you. This person will listen to you. If they see you as an expert, if you help them to solve the objections, then they will trust you even more and more. The problem is you will still get objections and you will still run to your upline and you tell them, hi upline, this is my friend and they have asked me a very serious question. Can you help me to answer it? Your guest will look at you in disbelief and they'll wonder, so you want to mean you are not good enough to help me with this? You want to mean you don't know how to handle it? Okay, sometimes you might not be in a position to handle it, but that simply means that you need to learn more, you need to research more, you need to be skilled more and more, so that you are good in all objections. There is no objection I think any one of you has ever brought to me and I've ever failed to answer. Even for your upline, sometimes they bring me problems and they tell me, upline, this and this is happening. How do you go about it? And I've never lacked a solution. No matter how weak it looks, no matter how that solution sounds, we have to find a solution. That is what your guest needs. They need someone they can trust with their money, with their life, with their goals, with their visions. And you need to be that kind of person. So ensure there are no more objections before you proceed. Sometimes you might answer an objection and you've clarified and you've told them clearly, John, so you want to mean there is no other objection apart from this, so you want to mean there are no more questions. John, so you want to mean if I tackle these three things, you'll be good to go. And then you tackle those three things, and then even before you proceed, and they'll tell you, sorry. I've remembered something else I saw in the presentation. Can I ask? I know it was not there, but can I just ask? Don't get mad. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes wires connect later on. So what do you need to do? You need to listen them out. You tell them, okay, John, it's okay, though it's outside whatever you'd given me, but I'm still willing to listen to you. What is it? And John will tell you, hi, I remembered. If this and this and this happen, will that happen? So they'll tell you the objection or the question which they'll be having. Now, don't get mad. This is a chance for you to answer that question as well before you proceed. Now, this is now what we call closing early and closing often technique. So how does it work? You tell them, John, that is a very fantastic. In fact, you've done a good thing to ask that question before we forget. Now, do you have any other question apart from this? Or if I answer this question, you'll be ready to get started. Now, what does closing early mean? Because you might be wondering, upline, what is closing early? Closing early is this small thing which I taught you here that you might have missed. This is now what we call closing early. This is closing early. You are telling this person So if I clarify this problem, will you be ready to get started? You're already closing early. Remember, I told you you're blocking so that there are no other questions that come outside whatever you have already discussed. So if I clarify this question, will you be ready to get started? Okay, fantastic. So you've told me number 1, number 2, number 3. Let me handle this, and then we can proceed to get started. Now that is closing early. Now closing often is whatever I've just taught you right now. John, you said you have an additional question outside whatever we've already discussed. So let me ask. Do you have any other question apart from this additional one? John will tell you yes or no, depending on if they have any more additional questions. Are we together? Now, the moment you've answered that question, you ask them again, do you have any additional? Do you have any other question? Or now, can we finally? You're telling them, do you have any other question? Or can we now finally get started? Now, this is now what we call closing often. As in, after every question, let's say they had 3 questions initially, and you answered those 3 questions. And then you tell them, I've answered these questions. So do you guys have any other additional question, or can we proceed to get started? And they'll tell you, oh, there's something else I've remembered. They ask you question number 4. You ask them, so if I answer this, you'll be okay now? They'll tell you yes. Hiyo ni additional, so ukinijibu hiyo nitakuwa sawa. Tell them, okay, fantastic. Now you tackle that question. The moment you just finish that question yenye ameshajibu, don't proceed unless you've asked them, do you have any other question now? Or are you now finally ready to get started? They'll tell you, we are okay now. But then before you proceed, they ask you question number 5. Don't be mad. Tackle that question and then do what? Ask them, do you have any other additional question, or can we finally get started? Ask that question repeatedly, no matter how many questions. That's why I told you it is good they tell you all the questions they have, and then you now tackle them one at a time. So kama ni watu watatu wanne wenye umekaa na wao, have a notebook. Unaweza andika John, then una underline. Unasema John, money, una scribble tu, John is saying time. Alice, una underline. Alice, do you have any question? How do I encash the money? Alice, encashment. Aya, Susan, do you have any question, or are you okay? Susan says okay, so Susan, okay. Dan, do you have any question, Dan? I was wondering, if I get started, will I start earning today? So Dan, earning today. And then you sit down and you ask them. Now I can see here we have 4 or 5 questions, and I just want to know, if I clarify all these questions, will you be ready to get started? What about you, Anne? If I clarify yours, will you be okay? What about you, Susan? Would you be okay? What about you, John? Will you be okay? Fantastic. Now, let's do this. And you answer those questions. Once you answer those questions, before you proceed, you ask them, do you guys have any other question? Or can we now proceed to get started? Susan did not ask a question. So Susan will be like, oh, I forgot. I had a question. What if I don't have a national ID? What can I do? Susan, very good question. In fact, fantastic. Umeuliza saizi before ikusumbue. Now let me ask Susan, is this the only challenge you're facing? So if we answer this question, Susan, you will be okay to get started? Susan will tell you, yes. Okay, now let's do this. Then you tell Susan, if you don't have an ID, it's still okay. You can use your birth certificate, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Susan, are you okay? Now, do you guys have any other additional questions, or can we now finally proceed to get started? Then John remembers, I was wondering, do you guys have an office in, let's say, Tanzania? Fantastic, John. Very good question. Um, we do have an office in Tanzania which you are free to visit. Kidogo Dan atauliza swali lingine. Now, I was assuming if I get started today, what do I do with the products? John, fantastic. So when you get started, these products are for your own personal consumption, so you don't need to sell them. Are you okay? Good. So do you guys have any other question? Or sasa tunaweza anza? Ask that question repeatedly. So that is closing early and closing often. So this is what we discuss here on question number 11. Do you have any other question, or can you get started? Then you proceed. Now that they are ready to get started, make sure there are no objections. Now that they are ready to get started, you can just simply ask them, now that you are ready to get started, guys, I want to give you guys a chance to get started today. Or John, I want to give you a chance to get started today. If I give you the option of starting today, or if I want to give you the first privilege of starting today, out of the 4 packages, which one would you start with right now? Which one would you prefer to start with right now? And they'll tell you either the Neoverse, the Technoverse, the Digiverse, or the Megaverse. So always make sure that you're giving them the full option. Neoverse, Technoverse, Digiverse, or the Megaverse. And they'll tell you, for me, I would like to start with, let's say, the Neoverse. Don't be so much excited. Relax. Tell them, John, okay, the Neoverse is a good place to start. But let me ask you, why a Neoverse and not a Technoverse? Why a Neoverse? Why do you want to start with 3 accounts instead of starting with, let's say, 7 accounts? Why not do that? Why not? Why not a Technoverse? Why not a Digiverse? Why do you want to start with the Neoverse? What do you think that question does to your guest or to your prospect? It opens them up, and they'll start giving you their current financial situation. They'll tell you, I would have loved to really start with the Technoverse or the Digiverse, but at the moment, I can only afford a Neoverse. So this person has indirectly told you their current financial situation, which means you now have an open playing field for you now to attack. They'll tell you, okay, I can start with the Technoverse. Okay, yes, I have the money, but I want to test with a Neoverse first of all. That is a very straightforward case, because some people, they have the capability to go for more accounts, but we don't just give them a professional advice. Now, this is now where you give your professional opinion. That is a closing technique that I taught you, giving your professional opinion. Why not that? Do you want to test the waters with 1 account, or you seriously can only afford a Neoverse package? They'll tell you, I want to test the waters with Hii Kwanza. Or they'll tell you, I want to, this is what I can afford at the moment, so I'll add more accounts later on, but at the moment, this is what I can afford. That is okay. So they are giving you an open chance for you to reach out to them, and you appreciate them. This question, never forget to ask. This question, in fact, should be another section on its own, because now this is where you give your professional opinion. You give your professional opinion, and that one, it can work. I told you, it can go higher or you can go lower. Maybe let's say someone says, I don't have money to do the full account. You can give them a professional opinion. I would advise you to start partially, or I would advise you to go for the Technoverse, because John, clearly you will benefit a lot if you have 7 profit centers, because you can afford it. Go for it. This is how it can help you, and you give them your professional opinion on why the Technoverse is the best option. Are you together? Now, this question, very, very important. Let me start that. Why the neoverse and not the technoverse? Ask that question. Then, I appreciate you, John, for being honest with me. I appreciate you. I know it wasn't easy telling a stranger your current finances, but I appreciate you being honest with me and telling me what you can afford at the moment. But don't worry, things are going to be okay. Since you said you did not have any other question, John, is it okay if we proceed to get started right now? The point is right now. John, I appreciate you for being honest with me, and I appreciate you telling me your current financial situation. Is it okay if we proceed right now? Because I am assuming you don't have any other question. So John will tell you yes or no. If John tells you yes, you ask them, do you have a national ID? Do you have a national ID? Are we together? So do you have a national ID? So the moment they tell you they have a national ID, then you ask them, okay, John, now where is the money? Where is the money, John? Where is the money? Is it M-Pesa? Is it cash? So confirm with them. If you're okay, let's proceed to get started. Do you have a national ID? Ah, fantastic. Okay. Where is the money now? We can proceed. Where is the money? And you'll be that time you are angry. That time umejam. That is not a time to smile with John. Maybe when they were asking how is the encashment process, you can joke with them. But when it comes to this question, do you have a national ID? Ah, fantastic. All right. Now, where is the money, John? We can proceed to get started. Where is the money? They should tell you where the money is at that moment. If they don't have the money, remember, you can give them your professional opinion and you can still ask them this question. If I give you a chance to start partially today, how much can you access as you speak? Or how much do you have at hand? I think for any person who passed through my hand and you did not have the full amount of money, this was the question that I was asking you. All right, I appreciate you being honest with me of where you are financially, but I just want to know, if I give you a chance to start partially today, how much can you access as we speak at this moment? Or how much do you have at hand? Now, remember, the reason why you're asking this question is to get them to at least commit. You're asking them to commit themselves. So the only way they're going to commit is if they see value. The only way they'll commit is if they see value. If I get you a chance to start partially today, and guess what? Any person who is getting started partially today, first of all, for all our events, they are coming like they are part of the team already. They're already members. Number two, we are giving them the first come advantage. That is the spillover support system. So any other person who is going to come after you, I'm going to be placing them immediately after you. I'm giving you the first priority, ndivyo ni kusupport. And also, you will be reserving your mentorship slot with our mastermind mentor. And for that matter, I'll give you a form. Any one of our events you can come, even including a vacation. Imagine, John, by simply committing yourself, you can come for our vacations, you can come for our breakfast, our team dinners, our pizzas, and everything. Number two, I'm giving you first come advantage for the spillover support system, meaning that any person who is coming to join the business, imagine naenda kuweka chini yako. And I'm also going to talk to my mastermind mentor, or I've already talked to my mastermind mentor, and I'm going to give you a first slot. I'm going to give you one of the slots, the mastermind mentorship, and I'm going to give you a form so that you're going to fill it for me and help you to get started in this program. Are we together? So John, that is what I want us to do. So if I give you a chance, how much can you access as we speak? This question will give you all kinds of responses from I have 20,000 or I have 30,000 to I have 1,000, I have 500, I have 200 shillings. You're going to get all kind of responses. Appreciate them. Anything less than 1,000 or anything less than 1,000, 2,000, huyo mwambie tu aende tu akule nyama. Okay, usimwambie akule nyama. Just tell them it's okay. I completely understand that. And lacking money is not a problem. Are we together? Lacking money is not a problem, but lacking ideas on how to raise the money is now where the problem is. So come up with ideas and help this person to think and strategize. Come up with a plan on how you can work on raising this money together with that person. Are we together? I hope you're getting this point. Don't give up on them. Genuinely, they might not have anything. Genuinely, they might be broke, but don't give up on them. Tell them it's okay. I completely understand. And personally, you can also relate. So hapa also relate. You can tell them, I also did not have the money, but I realize that lacking money is not an excuse. Is not an excuse I should be giving. I should be having a plan on raising the money. Bring them ideas on how they can raise the money and think with them together. John, if you tried this, can it help you to make money? Okay, John, if you took a loan, will that be okay? John, if you can access this from your friends and family, can you get this amount of money? How much can you get? How much here and there and there? Then combine those ideas and help them to come up with the full amount of money or something close. Maybe mali atakwama. You can tell them mali utakwama. We'll put our heads together and think on how we can help you to fully get started. Sawa sawa. I hope up to that point we are okay. If someone tells you they have maybe 3,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, anything past that, you sit down after you've already given them the value. After you've already given them the value, sit down, give them a form that is a order form. In any case, you're with them at Caxton House, give them an order form or commitment, that is a payment form. So once you've given them the order form, or they say that they have that amount of money at hand because you've asked them, how much can you access as we speak? Or how much do you have at hand? Because they have already told you what they have at hand. You can tell them, it's okay. You share with them the value, then help them to do the payment at that point without wasting time. Mwambie John, sasa mimi naona tuanze na mimi nataka nikusupport. Unaona hizi vitu zote zinaenda kubenefit. Mimi nataka nikusupport. We start today. And you help them with the payment procedure and you help them to get started. Once they have booked their account, what do? You add them to the follow-up group. If someone has paid the full amount of money at this point, when you're asking them where is the money, and they tell you right now I have the 39,000, help them to do the payment and give them a mentorship form and help them to get started. Now the rule of this, because someone might ask upline, how do I ask for the sale? How do I ask for someone to commit? The rule of sales is very simple. If you don't ask, you don't get. Your guest is not an angel. Ati, you're waiting for them to make a decision, so you are there with them. No. You ask for it. That's why we're saying, how much do you have at hand as we speak? How much can you access as we speak? Where is the money? So you're asking them. If you don't ask, you will never get it. Don't assume your guest will come after the presentation to you and tell you, I am ready. How can I join? Where can I pay? No. They won't do that. It is now you to ask for it, and never be afraid to ask for it. You will rather ask for it and not get it than assuming that you will get it by not asking for it. I hope you guys are getting me. Now, it is an issue of right now. Create an agency. Create an agency. It is now or never. It is now or never. It is now or never, John. You have to do it now or you forget about it completely. And then relate with them. I already told you, yeah, relate with them. When you're talking about they don't have the money and their current situation, relate with them. There are some words which you can use, that is feel, felt, and found out. Feel, felt, found out. You can tell them, oh, John, I feel the same way that you're feeling. I was in a similar position, but then I found out. These are the three magic words. So these are the three magic words. I feel you. I was in your position, but I found out that you can start partially. I was scared. So I felt the same way you're feeling. But guess what? I found out that these people were going to be mentoring me. They are going to be supporting me. They are going to be coaching me and guiding me. So those are the three magic words. Feel, felt, found out. So you might be wondering, upline, how do I relate? John, you actually remind me of me when I was joining the business. I was so much scared. I was wondering, what if I invest and the company collapse? I felt the same way you're feeling. But guess what? I actually found out that this company has been here in Kenya for the last 7 years and all over the world for the last 17 years. And so I relaxed. I knew that I'm in the right place. John, oh, you are wondering how you can grow. Don't worry. I had the same question and I felt like I was going to fail. But guess what? The moment I started the business, I found out that I was being mentored by the best of them all. A few points to note. A few points to note. Number one, don't ever use feel, felt, and found out zikuwa zimefuatana. How do you encash the money? Don't worry, John. I feel you. I found out that we have EcoBank Stanbic. All right. So how do I start with the 3 accounts? John, don't worry. I feel you. I found out. I felt the same way. And this is how I go. No, 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 no. John, how did you grow? I understand your fear. Don't worry. I feel you. I felt, I found. No, no, no. There's a structure to doing it. Even in terms of relating. Not everything is all about relating. Are you together? Not everything is about relating. It's a process. It's a process, everything in its place and time. When someone is telling you a sad story, be empathetic. When someone is telling you their challenge, you can relate with them. When someone is asking a question, it's not a yes or no question. Ask them a question, or you can ask them, John, you're asking me that question. That means, were you keen during that time when it was being explained? You're asking them with another question, or you can just tell them, all right, so this is how it works. From whatever you've asked me, this is, do I get to earn today? All right. So let me answer you that question, because you might be wondering, if I start today, will I start earning? So you answer that question with an explanation, so that you don't say yes or no. Saying yes or no might kill the cell in a very hard way. Now, create urgency. I think that is it with the question. I think after this, if there is any person with any question, will reach out to me. Now, create urgency, and these are some of the things you can use to create urgency. That is the spillover support system. You can tell them, this is how I'm going to support you with the spillover. You can talk about mentorship and coaching, like I've already mentioned, and also about the promo. You can buy them a ticket for an event. You can tag them along for a team meeting. you can that is just a short promo. You can top them up maybe 1,000 or maybe 1,000, but don't do it without telling your upline. You might be stuck time ya kuchukua code. So give them a promo. Like if you struggle, you get to 27,000, I'll actually book an appointment with our mentor. Or if you struggle this and that, I will invite you for our next team meeting. Or if you do this and this and that, you will be part of the mentorship program that is actually starting. So make sure you are creating urgency by giving them value. Don't create urgency at we lipa tu, we lipa, apana, give them value. It is value over anything else. If you don't give them value, then forget about creating urgency. I told you this urgency is if you're getting positive feedback. If you're getting positive feedback, and also if your prospect actually sees that whatever they're about to lose is so much more than if they whatever they're going to lose is so much if they don't make that decision right there and then. So positive feedback. Don't create urgency if you're not getting positive feedback. You'll scare that person, will run away. They will close their mind off. And also, once you're getting positive feedback, provide value and create urgency. So that is how you do it. And then it is now or never. I think that's what I've already talked to you about, how to the now or never technique, where you're offering the mastermind mentorship slot, where they can be mentored by the CEO, the crown leader, or the elite leader, where they are going to be supported. And the now or never technique is what I use when I talk about the 90 days challenge. And I show them for the next 90 days, we have a certain set of goals that we want to help you to accomplish, to make 300,000, to make 300,000, to get an all expense paid travel vacation, and then your own personal goals, maybe something personal that you are hoping to accomplish, and then your skills, the skills goals that you see me mention. Now, these are some of the words that you can use when you are closing to create urgency. We talked about um, using giving them discounted offer or giving an alternative. But when you want to create that sense of urgency, or now is the best time, this is the best time, these are the words to use. I want to give you a special offer. You hear me tell them, I want to give you a special chance to be mentored by the CEO of Bonan. This is a one-time chance for you to book an account while the account is still at 39,000 Kenyan shillings. I want to give you an offer that if you can struggle to get to 20,000 to get started, that I am willing to do this and this and this. You're giving them an offer, and then offer support. Offer them support. This is a chance for you to secure my support, that this is how we are going to do. This is the steps that you are going to walk. This is the plan that I've drawn for you, and I'm willing to support you if and only if you make that decision right now. John, don't tell me January. January, I'll be having other responsibilities. I want to support you here and right now. So if we talk about getting started right now, this is the best time for you to get my upline support. This is the best time for you to do that and that. This is a one-time offer for you to get a ticket for our event. This is a special chance for you to meet the CEO. This is a one-time chance for you to enjoy an all expense paid vacation. This is a one-time chance for you to be part of that mentorship program. So these are the 5 words to use. And also time. Time is really running out, and in the interest of time, because I don't want us to waste any more time, because tomorrow I've been given a deadline. You talk about a deadline, because the deadline is tomorrow 12 noon. We have to book this account right now, or forget about this chance, or forget about this offer. And I told you, only use this if you're getting positive feedback. Don't create urgency and you have not been getting positive feedback, and to top it all off, that person has not yet seen the value. And these are some of the values. So anytime, anywhere, these are some of the values that you can give so that someone knows they are getting a lot out of that. Now, make the decision. Help them to make the decision. That prospect might be undecided. They'll be like, okay, I want to start, but siko sure about maybe how I'm going to get the remaining amount of money. Help them to make a decision. That is why you are there. Don't expect your guest will make a decision without you. I already told you they are not angels. Don't expect your guests to decide on themselves or on their own. Help them to make a decision. If they are wondering how will they be supported, that is the only thing. Show them how they'll be supported and tell them, don't worry, John, let's just get started. And this is now where I'll step in. John, you're not sure if you want the Neoverse or the Technoverse. I will advise you start with that. John, you're not sure if now is the best time to start the business. Let me tell you why now is the best time to start. Because immediately after this event, this is happening. John, guess what? This is the best time to start because at this time, we are in momentum. We are in a 90 days game plan. And this is the value that you're going to get. So help them to make a decision and lead with confidence. Some of you, you are very shaky. You are so much shaky that even your guest and your prospect can see. Be decisive. Be very much decisive and have confidence in whatever you're deciding. Let you not worry in front of you. Some of you bring me your guest or your follow-ups. Even you yourself, you're not sure. You're like, I applied. This is my friend. Love the business so much, but I don't know how to answer his question. You're already confirming to your guest that you're not a leader, that you cannot help them. So you have to take them to a higher authority. Close that deal at that point and have confidence that you can close the deal and you can get strong results, positive results out of that closing. So lead with confidence and then tell a story. Don't just be a dull person. You're just asking them question. So if I help you to get started today, no, tell them a story. Share with them your story or another person's story. So you can have videos, photos, things which they can look at. I think that was one of the last techniques which I told you. Share testimonials, share stories, relevant stories. Don't share weird stories, Sapana. We all have stories to tell, regardless of whether you're 1 day old in the business or 10 years in the industry. We all have a story to tell. You can just be 1 day old and you tell that person, oh, by the way, John, I started yesterday, and since yesterday until today, let me tell you what I've learned. Oh my God, John, I am 1 week old in the business, but this has already happened. When I came, I never knew how to do this, but right now I'm good to go. And because of that, I think I'm in the best place for me to grow and build. John, I never really knew about this industry, but when I joined on Monday, today's on Thursday, I'm already having a good time. Even if I'm still starting to build my foundation, I'm already enjoying 1, 2, 3 things. I'm learning so much. We all have a story to tell. Don't wait until you start making millions so that you start now telling your story. No, I started telling my story when I was 2 weeks old in the business. When I was given the opportunity to do a presentation in front of 70 people in my 3rd week in the business, my upline told me, you are the one to do it. And I stepped up and I did it and I shared my story and I inspired so many people. From that session, someone stood up and said they want to join with the 3 accounts. He was an architect. He loved the way I did the presentation. Even before the session ended, this gentleman was already in. I shared my story, I shared the presentation, and when I was winding up, he was already in. He stood up in front of people and he says, I want to start with 3 accounts because this gentleman has now made me understand how this industry works. And I'm an architect. I think this is the best place for me to also have a side hustle. So I want to start with 3 accounts. You have a story, tell it. Now, One of the second last things that I want to share with you is the ABC rule. Now, ABC simply means advisor, bridge, customer. Now, you as a person who is closing, you are not a one-man army. The moment you've closed your guest, you need to expose them to other people. You need to expose them. So what do you need to do? Take them to an advisor, because you are the bridge. Because you are the bridge. You are the bridge. Your uplines, crosslines, the management, the office, the photos, videos, and every little detail, those are the advisors. And your customer is your prospect. So what do you need to do? You as the bridge, you need to connect the other side, that is your uplines, your downlines, your crosslines, your mentors, office, everything. You need to connect them to the customer. This is now what we call having a third-party tool. Having a third-party tool, as in a system which can talk on your behalf or can share something more that you did not share. So use a third-party tool. Be a bridge. Don't be the star of the show. You might lose that deal. This guest only knows you. You are the one who presented. You're the one who did the closing. You're the one who helped them. You showed them the office. You're the one who's helping them. You're the one who's following up on them. You might lose that person. Connect that guest to so many people. I told you it takes an average of 8 to 10 exposures. It takes an average of 8 to 10 exposures for you to say that you have really exposed that person. That I don't know if you guys are following. It takes an average of 8 to 10 exposures for that person. What are exposures? I already told you what exposures are. Something visual or something audio visual that a person can see. So mtu anaweza kuja aone ofisi, that is one exposure. Akuje aone, let's say, the office of the manager, that's fantastic. Akuje aone team leaders, maybe mentors, uplines, that is another exposure. The next time anaweza kuja aone, akuje kwa event, that's another exposure. After a few minutes akuje tena aone people encashing money, that's another exposure. It takes an average of 8 to 10 exposures. It doesn't stop at presentation. So the moment your guest has been taken through the presentation, strike the iron while it's still hot. Expose them to as many people as possible. Tell them, hi, John, come. Oh, by the way, I wanted to introduce you to my mentor, to my upline. This gentleman has been supporting me since day one. Upline, this is my friend. Now I want to shout out a warning. Never ever connect your follow-up or your guest to your upline and you don't edify. You don't introduce your upline like any other person. And first of all, when you're bringing to me your guest, or when you're connecting me to your follow-up or guest, not just me alone, but any one of your uplines, kindly don't bring them and keep quiet. I had trouble with one of you. You bring to me your guest, and now me plus you plus your guest, we are seated there. And I ask you, what do you want me to do? And you are pointing to me your follow-up at this one. And I'm wondering, what do you mean this one? Come on, talk. You bring to me your guest, start by introducing yourself. Still upline, this is me, and I've been doing a presentation. This is my friend, and this friend of mine has really loved, anaitwa John. John amesema amependa kila kitu about the business, and I thought the best person to help John is you, because you're the one who also helped me. and I don't want John to be stranded. So I would like you to maybe say a word or two, and we also see on how we can help John to start. And then you turn to John and you tell John, John, remember the person I told you who was mentoring me? Now this is my upline. She is called person so and so, and this person has been mentoring me. She's one of the most caring people. She takes me for brunch and for breakfast and lunch. She gives me all the skills that I need. This person has really mentored me, and he's called or she's called person so and so. So John, I would like you to talk to my mentor, and then in a few minutes, I know you'll be okay. Upline, kindly say something. Don't bring to me your guest and you expect me to think that you want me to talk to your guest. I will not talk to that guest. Or hate me if you want to hate me. Or you do it with your mouth. Upline. This one. Upline. Huyu hapa. You point with your lips. Upline. Huyu hapa. Nimemleta. Umemleta afanye nini? Kwani mimi ni kinyozi? Unataka nimnyoe ama nini? Upline. Upline. Ule mtu nilikuwa nakwambia ndio huyu. Upline. Kuja ufanye closing. Don't ever, by the way, don't ever say that. Ati upline, huyu nishamfanyia presentation, anaitwa John, nataka umclose. Don't ever say something. If you say something like that in front of me, that warrants for, I'll disown you from my genealogy. You cannot do that. Ati upline, close this one, close. Huyu hapa ako tayari, ako nayo pesa yote, hebu upline, close. Ama upline, huu ni follow up. Hapana. Don't ever come tell me that. When you're bringing to me someone, tell them he or she has already seen the presentation, and now I would just like you to help him or her in the last bit. Maybe anaweza kuwa na challenge or two, ametoka kuona the presentation tu sahi hata bado hatujaongea na yeye. Could you kindly help me out? Kwa akili yangu mimi ndio najua hii ni closing unataka nifanye. Ama ukuja uniambia upline, this is my friend, aliona the presentation last week, akakuja on Monday, tumeongea naye, so leo amekuja tena. Kwa akili yangu nasema huyu ni follow up, lakini don't ever say upline, this is my follow up. Na ako hapo hivyo anasema, maybe ukuja uniwhisperia upline, huyu ni follow up wangu. Hiyo naweza sikia, hiyo naweza fanya. Lakini when you say upline, this is my friend John, he's my follow-up. Can you say something? Or upline, nimemaliza presentation, unaweza mclose. Don't ever do that. If you ever do that in front of me, I'll disown you permanently. Na hiyo nayo si ati inakuanga ile ya msamaha ati sorry upline. No. That one I disown you completely. I hope you're getting. I hope you're learning something. And as we almost end to end this, something else about being a customer is that when your customer is close to you or too much familiarity, e.g., maybe let's say loved one, friends, relatives, colleagues, it means you need to expose that person more and more. In fact, it means that person, you're not the best person to handle because that person is very much close to you. They might take you for granted. That is why we say, no man is a prophet in his own land. You cannot be a prophet in your own land. You cannot go preaching good news to your family members. No, they'll chase you away. That's why we have recommendation messages. You recommend them to your upline. Are you together? So no man is a prophet in his own land. So probably if you have 2 or 3 people who are close to you, the moment they have been taken through the presentation, immediately connect them to the next leader available. Don't even try closing. Usijaribu closing. You will lose that person. And then the effectivity of teamwork or strategy. That is point number D. The effectivity of teamwork or synergy. We work together as a team. You are not a prophet in your own land. So work together with the team. Make sure that you expose more and more people to your team. It will help you. Some person might be inspired from another person. They might not be inspired by your story. Anaweza kuwa ni guest wako. They might be your guest or your prospect. But guess what? When you expose them to other people, they'll be so much challenged by other people more than they were challenged by your story. So keep that in mind. Then the psychology of closing, I told you, always agree, never disagree. Whatever your guest says is correct. And use the word of course. I told you, don't bring any new idea unless it's something you want to add or a story that you are sharing that is relevant, yenye iko relevant to that situation. So always agree, never disagree. If your prospect tells you they hate the matching bonus, relate with them. Tell them, okay, the 4,800, you might hate it, but also tell me why. Then they'll tell you, I don't like it because of the, of course, now I get you. The smaller the number, the better. I told you don't try closing 20 people, you will lose all of them. Out of 20 people, identify the serious people by the way they react, by the questions by the answers to the questions, and by the way they are asking questions. If they are positive, good questions, pick out the serious people from everyone, and then work with those 3, 4, 5 people. You are likely to increase your results by focusing on smaller numbers rather than closing everyone at the same time. So the smaller the number, the better. And then be knowledgeable. I want you to be knowledgeable. Have high knowledge. Have 1% knowledge level higher than 99% of the world. Have 1% knowledge higher than 99% of the world so that you have a higher chance of attracting more people towards you. We only relate to people who have knowledge. We only want to be people who we know they can help us. We can benefit from being associated with them. So be that kind of person. Learn more, read widely, watch a lot of videos, read a lot of books, research deep and wide. Just have that 1% knowledge that not many other people have. You might be inviting 3 people at the same time. All right? Sorry. 3 people might invite 1 person at the same time. But this person who has been invited by 3 people or who has seen the presentation through 3 different people will only join that person who he or she feels like they can really help him or her out. Atasema, out of these 3 people, I think this person knows whatever they are doing. So this is the best person to help me. If you want to be confident in this industry, read a lot of books. You'll become so much confident, nothing will ever scare you. Having knowledge helps you to handle objections easily. Because you have knowledge, objections are very easy to handle, and that means you increase your sign-ups, you increase your confidence. The size of your team also grows and increases. So have 1% knowledge higher than 99% of the world. It is an objections killer. Then use their names repeatedly. Someone tells you their name is John. You've heard me using John since we started. In fact, I don't even know how I kept on using John up to this point, but John is the only name I know because John told me their name. If you're having 5 people, use all of their names. So you're Susan. Susan, you said this and this. Susan, I want to help you. Susan, can I show you the plan? Susan, if I give you, Susan, if I give you a chance, Susan, I want to. Susan, when you use their names repeatedly, use their names, it makes them feel good. When you read this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, it says, there's a chapter which talks about names, and it says, a person's name is the sweetest language they can hear in any language. A person's name is the sweetest song, is the sweetest thing in any language. So when you use John repeatedly, John will feel so much honored. Why is this person using my name? Oh, this person is calling my name so often. This person really wants to know me. A person's name, even you, You would want people to identify you. You would want people to feel comfortable around you. And anytime I call your names, even in this kind of meetings, when I call you, hey, Nani, why are you? Hey, 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 hey. You also feel like, okay, upline is following through on me very, very strictly. All right. And so share success stories, relate your stories. I think I shared this. Share as many success stories. We all have stories to share. And a closing is only fruitful if there is a transaction. If there is no transaction, there is no business. You need to be getting positive feedback and a transaction, or positive feedback that is going to lead to a transaction, or a transaction and a positive feedback. That is when you can say you have done closing and you are in business. But if you do closing and there is no person booking an account, there's no person joining, it means there is something you're doing wrong and you need to change up on it very, very quickly. Now, after closing, the only thing you need to do is now follow up, create a follow-up list and things that you can do. So this is the art of keeping the excitement higher. The moment a person leaves a presentation, what do you need to do? You need to keep that excitement. So book an appointment within 24 to 48 hours, 72 hours, sorry, between 24 to 72 hours. Book another appointment, whether physical or online. Keep that excitement. The moment someone sees the project, this is how their graph is in terms of excitement with time. Inaendanga hivi. It goes like this. So this is the time when they have just seen the presentation, they have loved it, so their excitement is high and at that time. But the moment 1 day ends, the excitement is reducing. 2 days ends, the excitement is reducing. 1 week ends, the excitement is almost at zero. So what do you need to do? You need to create a graph that looks like this. So the moment they see the presentation, then book another appointment, then they come, and then book another appointment, and they come, then book another appointment, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, until that person joins the business. That is how to keep the excitement going until that person. So what are you going to do? Exposure after exposure, appointments after appointment, phone calls. Call them. Hi, John. Did you arrive home? Ah, fantastic. How was the session today? What did you love? Ah, John, I can see you are in our Google Meet presentation. What did you love the most? Then the next day, just call them in the morning. Is today the best time to talk? Can we talk today? I want us to just talk random things. Are you free at 2 p.m.? Call them. Status and social media updates. Update your status and social media every day. It gives them a sense of their following. But you find that the moment a presentation ends, you're not updating your status. So your prospect has no other place to get more information. So their excitement is dying down. Use your social media to make money. Don't post memes, don't post, you partying and so on and so forth. Share something positive. Share something that can help them to learn more about the business. Post encashments, post success stories, share achievements, share events, share, progress, share people joining as in share everything. This will give your prospect a place to learn more and more about your business. And then book more sessions, that is 7 to 10 exposures, and then tag them along for events. This one is a must. Events can help you to convert your follow-up into a leader even before they complete their payments, as in that person joins the business when they're already a leader. That is the power of events. And then when do you say you have done follow-up, or when do you say you followed up? So the fortune is always in the follow-up. The goal is in the follow-up. Make sure you're followed up effectively with those appointments, whatever we have discussed here. That is what you can use to do follow-up, as we have already discussed. And then when do you stop following up? You stop following up when you're not getting any feedback. When you're not getting any feedback whatsoever, when they are not picking your calls, that is when you need to stop following up. When they are not replying to your messages, when they have blocked you, when they tell you, stop following up on me or stop texting me. So that is when you need to stop following. But keep their contact. Keep that contact. Keep it, save it somewhere for future reference, for future use. That person might come back to you and they'll want to have another chance. So keep that contact. In other words, only stop following up when you're not getting positive feedback, when they're not picking your calls, when they're not replying, when they blocked you, when they tell you to stop. Are you together? So sometimes you might need to ask them directly, John, it looks like you are not giving me feedback or we are not communicating. I tried calling, you're not picking up. So what do you need to do? First of all, you need to call the first time. Call the first time. If they don't pick up, call the second time. If they don't call the second time, then leave them a message. If you can clearly see they are ignoring you, then leave them a message. Now, what kind of message can you leave? John, I would really like to know if I should stop reaching out to you, since I'm not getting any feedback, or you just need space, for the moment, but we can still communicate in future. Out of those two options, John, which one is it? Would you want me to stop reaching out completely, or do you just need some space at the moment, but we'll talk at a later date? They'll tell you. If they don't tell you, or if they block you, it's still okay. Or if they don't reply, it's still okay. Stop following up at that point, but keep the contact. Don't burn bridges. Never burn bridges. Usianze kumtusi. So let me also include this here. Never burn bridges. Don't abuse, don't just appreciate them and leave it at that point. And so as I end this, I'd like to tell you the last thing. You won't get it right the first time. You will feel like a failure in the second time and the third time. But the moment you get it right the first time, there is no going back for you. Practice makes permanent. And at that point, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to appreciate you. Unless there is any person with any question, I think I would like to stop it at that point and appreciate you for being here.